In 1324, a column of people began to move north out of West Africa, and you could see it coming from a mile away. By the accounts that survive, thousands of travelers, 100 camels, and on the back of each camel, gold. At its head rode the Emperor of Mali, on his way to Mecca. By the time he reached Cairo, he would give away so much gold that its price collapsed and stayed broken for a decade. This is the map of the journey that broke a market. 4,000 miles, from the upper Niger River to the holy cities of Arabia. One man, one caravan, and a trail of gold that changed how the world saw a continent. Stay with the line, because the gold doesn't just travel. It leaves a mark behind it, sitting over one city that no one could fix. His name was Musa, Mansa Musa, the 10th ruler of the Mali Empire. Mansa means ruler, king, or emperor. In the early 1300s, his empire stretched across the grasslands of West Africa, along the bend of the Niger River, taking in trading cities like Timbuktu and Gao, with Niani often identified as his capital. It was one of the largest states of its age. But it wasn't land that made Mali the talk of 3 continents. It was what lay under it. Gold. Mali sat over some of the richest goldfields in the medieval world, Bambouk, Bouré, and Galam, scattered along the rivers of the south. In an age when gold was money, minted into coins from Cairo to Florence, much of the gold the world spent may have started here. The emperor didn't have to mine it. He taxed every load that crossed his territory, and the gold came to him. And to spend that wealth, Mali plugged into the great trade network of the age, the trans-Saharan caravan routes. Gold went north across the desert. Salt, cut in slabs from mines in the deep Sahara, came south. Whole cities lived off the exchange. The desert was not empty. It was a sea, and the caravans were its ships, steering oasis to oasis along routes everyone knew. Mansa Musa was a devout Muslim, and in 1324 he set out to perform the Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca that every Muslim who is able must make once. But a king does not travel light. What left Mali that year was not a private pilgrimage but a royal procession the size of a town, and it began the long climb into the desert here, at the edge of the known map. The caravan moved north from Niani toward Walata, on the desert's southern edge, the last green before the sand. Then into the Sahara itself, along the caravan roads that link the oases to Egypt, past the salt town of Tagaza, and waterholes like Tuat, stepping stones strung across 1,000 miles of nothing. The exact stop-by-stop line is reconstructed, not certain, but the direction is clear, and so is the scale. The surviving accounts all describe the column as enormous. Thousands of people, heralds in silk, and the gold, always the gold, moving north with them. Then, in July of 1324, the caravan reached Cairo, the greatest city in the Islamic world, and the place where the legend was made. Mansa Musa camped near the pyramids and sent word to the Mamluk Sultan, Al-Nasser Muhammad. There was a famous standoff. The Sultan expected the visiting king to kneel and kiss the ground. Musa, a sovereign in his own right, was reluctant, and only relented, the accounts say, by bowing to God rather than to a man. Then the giving began. For 3 months in Cairo, Mansa Musa gave gold away. He gave it to officials, to the poor, to anyone who came near the markets. He bought whatever caught his eye, and overpaid for all of it. The historian Al-Umari, writing about a dozen years later, said the people of Cairo still spoke of it, that Musa left no emir nor holder of a royal office without a gift of a load of gold. It was generosity on a scale the city had never seen, and it was about to backfire. Because gold is only valuable when it is scarce. Pour enough of it into one city in one summer, and you do something nobody intended. You make it common. The price of gold in Cairo fell, by some accounts as much as 1/5 of its value, and it did not recover for years. The value of gold in Cairo had been knocked sideways, distorting the city's markets for years. One man's generosity had quietly devalued an entire city's wealth. Watch the mark it leaves on the map. And here is the detail that makes it human. On his way home, passing back through Cairo, Mansa Musa realized what he had done and tried to undo it. He borrowed gold back from Cairo's lenders at high interest, perhaps an attempt to pull gold out of the market and ease the shock he had helped create. It barely worked. The damage outlived the visit. The caravan went on, across Sinai to Medina, and to Mecca, where Musa completed the Hajj. He came home changed. He brought back scholars, books, and ideas. At Timbuktu, the great Djinguereber mosque rose during his reign. Later tradition links its design to an architect he is said to have brought home, al-Sahili. The city became a center of learning whose libraries would be famous for centuries. The gold had gone out. Ideas came back. 50 years later, a mapmaker in Mallorca drew the finest map of the known world of its age, the Catalan Atlas. And there, in the empty quarter where Europe's knowledge of Africa ran out, he drew a single enthroned king, crowned in gold, holding up a nugget the size of a fist. The caption named him the richest and noblest king of all that land. A pilgrimage had done what no army could. It fixed West Africa, in gold, in the European imagination. We flatten Mansa Musa into a single number, the richest man who ever lived. But a number misses what actually happened. What he really left was a line across a desert, and a mark over a city that took years to fade. Wealth, on a map, is not a figure. It's a thing that moves, and a thing it breaks. Stay with the line. There are more maps to unroll.